The dollar is the most remarkable achievement in the history of money. Think of it. This piece of paper cost nothing to produce. There's nothing behind it except the goodwill of Ben Bernanke. And let us not forget the U.S. Congress. This piece of paper somehow still commands value and respect. How can the dollar be anything except the world's greatest monetary brand, the Coca-Cola of money? How can it be anything else but? Well, you just watch.
Since 1971, the U.S. dollar and the global financial system have been based solely upon faith. Faith in the guardian of that currency and of that system, the American Central Bank, the Federal Reserve. As the world's reserve currency, the U.S. dollar is how we measure our time, our products, our self-worth. Ours is a system based on trust and confidence, both of which began to disappear in the fall of 2007.
Plunging interest rates helped trigger the housing boom, but with interest rates climbing back, many homeowners are having a hard time paying their mortgages.
Alan Greenspan told everyone to take a teaser rate, and Bernanke is being an academic. He has no idea how bad it is out there. He has no idea.
The Fed thought that this was a small problem. When the crisis was first talked about, this was a subprime mortgage problem. And it just kept growing and growing and growing.
Government officials scrambling to prevent the collapse of the giant investment bank Lehman Brothers.
We were having an electronic run on the banks. The Federal Reserve's estimation was that $5.5 trillion would have been drawn out of the money market system of the United States, would have collapsed the entire economy, and within 24 hours, the world economy would have collapsed. It would have been the end of our economic system as we know it.
Congress could not act in a timely way. Therefore, the Fed felt like it was important to stabilize the economy that we do it. That is not the normal role for a central bank, nor should it be.
While politicians debated, the Fed acted. It used its political independence and unlimited power to create money, to provide trillions of dollars in loans to corporations of all kinds, dwarfing the congressional aid that followed.
What people on Main Street and most politicians didn't understand is that if we didn't do something, General Electric would have pulled down, Berkshire Hathaway would have pulled down, General Motors would have pulled down, Citigroup would have pulled down Bank of America.
I mean, we came to the brink of the abyss and we looked over, and it was a long way down. The Fed really did have to step in.
And this is why the Fed was set up in 1913, to provide liquidity to the financial system as a whole at a time when you have a financial panic.
What do you know about the Federal Reserve?
Not much.
The Fed is this kind of black box. Nobody quite understands it.
Take care of currency.
Where's something about money?
They somehow regulate the stock market.
I think we're mysterious to people. I think they're not sure what we do.
Sounds like they're printing money. Nuh-uh.
One myth is that what we're doing is printing money. We're not printing money.
Is that tax money that the Fed is spending?
It's not tax money. It's much more akin to printing money than it is to borrowing.
You've been printing money.
Well, effectively.
What exactly is the Fed's job? It does control the money supply, set interest rates, regulate banks, and is supposed to ensure the safety and soundness of the financial system.
The Fed is supposed to be the guardian of financial stability, preventing chaos in markets. Now, usually it can do that. In the summer of 2008, it couldn't do that, and we did get chaos.
But what caused the crisis in the first place? What brought the wealthiest nation in history to its knees? According to many economists and senior Fed officials, it was the Fed itself at the eye of the storm.
The Fed kept interest rates too low for too long.
That contributed to the bubble in housing prices.
This was warned about at the time. This was textbook. When you take rates that low, you're going to have a boom, and a bust is likely to follow.
The Fed failed to prevent the housing bubble and utterly failed to prevent the financial crisis.
So we failed to regulate the most important part of our financial system.
And I don't think any of us who've ever worked at the Fed take any comfort from the fact that somebody screwed up. But I think it's important we recognize there were some big mistakes made.
Didn't the Federal Reserve System fail?
I know my time has run out, but I really fundamentally disagree with your point of view.
And I think there is a natural inclination that things are fixed, but things are not fixed.
Everybody wants to go back and say, things are fine now. Look, we solved our problem. We're just asking for another crisis.
This is an experiment. We've never done this before. We've never been here before. The Federal Reserve is really operating by the seat of their pants.
Somehow we need to go to an economy that isn't reliant on bubbles any place.
You know, tremendous wealth was created in financial markets, which didn't seem to be paralleled by any great improvement in the economy and in the incomes of other people.
So I think we need to look very carefully at the issue of what role should the central banks play going forward as we start thinking about this is a mess and we don't want to do this again.
This isn't the first time the central bank we created to protect our economy has instead led us to the brink. The real currency of the world is trust. As that slips away, can the Fed learn from the past, and can it do it in time?
We haven't had big countries going down, unable to save their system and collapsing. That's the crisis we have to worry about.
You have what degree of confidence in your ability to control this?
100%.